Welcome to Mike's development zone. Today we are going to look at builder pattern. This example is somewhat taken from the book Effective Java by Joshua Block. So, looking at this data class, nutrition facts. We are using builder pattern. The class will have required parameter serving size and optional parameters for calories, fat, sodium, and carbohydrate. This design will help you to create an instance of nutrition facts easily while ensuring that the required data is always provided. As you can see, we have the required parameters and we have the optional parameter initialized by default value, meaning if we don't set them inside the respective method of the optional value, like calorie, fat, sodium, carbohydrate, they will take the default values, while the serving size have to be set inside the constructor. As you can see, it is of type final, meaning it's shallow immutable, and therefore it's forced to be set. So let's have a look when we are calling it. So how do we call it? By saying new nutrition facts, we're calling the inner static class builder, and then we're setting first the required parameter, which is serving size. Here it might represent 250 gram, and calories 100 gram, and sodium 35 gram, and carbohydrate 27 gram. And the other ones that we don't set, for instance, the parameter called fat, they will get the old values. You can see we expect serving size to 250, calories 100, sodium 35, and carbohydrate 27. And since we didn't set, for instance, the parameter fat, which was optional, we expect it to be 0. Let's have a look. Let's play it. Here you can see serving size 250, 250, calories 100, 100, fat, we didn't set it, so you got the default value, 0. Sodium 35 was set to 35, and carbohydrate 27. Yeah, so let's for instance set fat also. Let's say it's 10 gram. So we have fat here, 10 gram. We run it, expect to see 10 gram. Yeah. So now you can see how we can carry the data inside this data class called nutrition facts via builder pattern. The builder pattern effectively solves the problem of telescoping constructor, which occurs when you have multiple overloaded constructors to handle different combinations of parameters. This leads to confusing, hard to read code. Why use the builder pattern? Like we said, it eliminates telescoping constructor. So instead of having constructor with increasing number of parameters leading to confusion and errors and so on, because it's just too much to keep track of, the builder pattern allows you to construct objects step by step in a readable and flexible way. As you could see, we use a method chaining. If you can look at the method chain. Yeah, here it is. So you see the method chain here with the dots. And it also keeps optional parameters clean, as you can see. With the builder pattern, required parameters are passed to the builder constructor, while optional parameters are set via methods. Let's have a look at that. So you can see the required parameters are set via the inner class constructor, the inner static class constructor, and the optional parameters are set via the method. As you can see, if we look at calories, so calories are set here, then we return the inner class object here. That's why we can do method chaining. So, yeah, so if we look at the initialization of the data, we see we can keep it very clean. We can separate, like we said, required parameters from optional parameters in a very orderly manner. And this improves code readability. The pattern clearly shows which parameters are required and which one are optional, making your code more understandable. And also, it also offers immutability. Once built, the object is immutable, which is safer and more reliable in a multi-threaded environment. Now we're going to backtrack and see how we create this data class called nutrition facts via IntelliJ. You can use any IDE you feel comfortable with, but I will do it with IntelliJ. So let's see here. I'll copy that name. We'll actually delete it from here. Delete it anyway. A new file. Choose a Java file. Let's give it a name. Nutrition facts. So here it is. I've cheated a little, so I say the variable names here. You don't have to see me declaring variables. Here are the variables. Serving size, calories, fat, sodium, carbohydrates. And now we're gonna generate a constructor for this class. And of course we're gonna use all the fields for this data. We're gonna modify this later to private and so on. Actually, we can do it now, maybe. Public, and we're gonna make a builder, actually. We can leave it like this right now. And now we're gonna do the inner static class. It's called builder. It's a installation of the inner class. And we're gonna use the variables up here. Now we have to separate what is optional and what's required. I'm gonna mark it with a comment here. Optional. Yeah, and because they're optional, we will not mark them as final. And they will have a default value 0. There we go. And since this is final, it requires a constructor. Let's generate that constructor. Constructor, yes, okay. Now we're done with that. Now we are going to generate the setters for the optional parameter. We right click, we generate, and we choose a setter. We say which one is for all of them. We say okay. And we have to modify it so it fits the inner static class. As you can see, I don't need to change so much. There's some small modifications. There we go. And we have to return the builder. And because we're going to do method chaining with this, we need to return this object. Oh, I put myself in the wrong method. We'll change that. Oh. Yeah, that's okay. And now I'm going to do the final class where we do the build. In fact, we're going to return it. Once we set all the parameters, we want to finalize it by calling build and return nutrition facts. Call build. We return to the outer class. There we go. Got the same thing there. Sorry. There we go. We make it private. When we build a class, we will call it via the static inner class. And the optionals, headers on them. Generate headers on all of them. Let's see. Yeah, so now it doesn't complain. We can reach all the data. And yeah, we want to see the field settings without calling every getter. So we'll generate a toString since it's public now. Let's put it above the private method constructor. Generate string. Okay, so here we go, all the way. And let's see if it worked. Click the execute application, run application. And yeah, so it worked. Thank you for listening, and I wish you happy coding. Bye bye.